A witness, a reminder once again that you are still on the oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed. Thank you, Madam Chair. Over to you.
Good afternoon, Madam Lord Mayor. You're welcome back. Um, Council, you may proceed.
Thank you very much. Before we went on break, you were explaining some of the examples with respect to the finance director. Do you want to proceed with another example?
Well, so foog naa tamit gis nañ internal auditors yi naka la leen finance director bi naka la leen mun a micromanager la mun a wax because the internal audit normally ñoom ñoo nekk ñoo xam ne war nañ ñoo mun a dimbale waaye su internal auditor bi si boppam gis ngeen from the records naka la ko finance director bi di lebalee ay xaalis sax yooyu yëpp feeñ na si suñ books yi so finance director bi gis nañ tamit even suñ revenue si naka la di
Yes, the interpreter wants to.
Very well. Very well.
suñ revenue bi
Our revenue.
xam naa wax na affaire yi
Hold on.
waaw ok naka la dugalante ak internal auditors yi
I think I want to explain the way I interact with the internal audits.
naka la finance director bi
Excuse me, financial director.
naka la dugalante ba mun a control internal auditors yi
How I interact with him until I could be able to control the internal audits.
and the records are there
And the records are there
because gis nañ naka la di lebalee xaalis sax internal auditors yi
because we realized or we saw how the way he credit monies to the internal audits.
because su fekkoon ne moom moo internal auditors yi konay fi
If at all there's no corners between him and the internal audits,
so dina doon easy trop pour man ma teel xam loolu
it will be easy for me to be aware of that.
comme ñi la ko war a wax su fekkee ne waxuñ la ko
But the one who should give you the information, if they don't inform you,
boobu tamit dafaa jafe pour ma mun a xam lan moo nekk di xew si biir
that will be difficult or it's going to be rare for me to know exactly what is it.
gis nañ finance director bi
We saw the finance director,
naka la dee demee di wàññi nit ñi revenue
how he usually go and reduct the revenue.
soo waree fay 50
If you need, if you're supposed to pay 50,
mu ne la fayal 30
he said to you, you can pay 30.
te ku nekk xam na ne
And everybody is aware that
moom am mandate boobu
you don't have that mandate.
even the council seen bopp amuñ mandate bi
Even the council themselves don't have that mandate.
because all these are budget gazetted
All these are gazetted.
so su fekkee ne du dem ba gazette ko
Something that have been gazetted already.
moom mun naa dem ba di wàññi loolu
How can he go and make a reduction on that?
loolu wan na la fu dooleem toll
That shows that he has powers.
so yii yëpp mu fa doon xew
This is all happening there.
dama try rek pour won li council
I'm just trying to show council
ne luñ bugg a ma xam loolu lay xam
what they want me to know. That is what I know.
luñ buggul ma xam
If they don't need to know,
munuma musa kawane be ma ko
I cannot be able to know.
You gave 3 examples.
But joxe nga fi ñetti example.
The first is in relation to the finance director when they hired someone in relation to trying to come up with new revenue lines.
Dena bu mu jógee dem di si keneen ko xam ne ku ees pour mu ñëw mu gis ne mu mun a nekk koo xam ne wax nga ko fii ne dafa nekk new revenue lines yi muy create.
I forgot the company or the business name, but yes, you're correct.
Dena fàtte na compagnie bi wala tout nit ki nee na waaye dëgg la li nga wax dëgg la.
But it was he introduced the company to council
Nee na dafa indi compagnie boobu mu daal di ko introduce si council.
and council approved it.
Nee na council mu daal di nangu mu ko approve.
Even though we also raised questions regarding that.
Nee na moom ba léegi ñun am nañ ay invité yi nga xam ne dañu ko laajte woon si biir yooyu.
I agree with you because we are told the finance director
Nena nango na sili nga paske wana finance director ne.
that your job is to find or create new revenue lines. It's not for you to go and hire someone else.
Nena mom liggéey bi mooy pour mu create wala mu jagara mu isi yeneen new revenue lines waaye warut.
And that
Pour mu dem luwaasi keneen mu ñëw pour nekk place.
And Banjul is so small
Nena te Banjul rëy dafa ndaw.
that you don't have to go and pay millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars to another company.
Nena warut la sax nga dem pour fay ay millions waaye ay 100,000 si beneen company.
To get a revenue that you yourself it exists.
Nena mu daal di lay isi lempo bi nga xam ne yow sa boppa xam nga ne boobu waru nekku fa wala amatu.
So that part I agree.
Nena foofu moom nangu na.
Ask Madam Mayor one question.
Nena daf la ko laajte benn laajte.
Honorable Mayor,
Nena yow honorable mayor.
to the finance director,
Nena suñu demee wala nañu wax mbiri financial director.
told us before we went for this short recess that
Nena balaa ñu dem break.
that are still outstanding.
Nena balaa ñu dem break li nga waxoon fii de ba léegi de am na boor bi nga xam ne des na si moom wala xaalis bu des si moom bu fay bi nga xam ne fayoo.
To you to clarify for the commission.
Nena dafa bëgg pour yow nga jàpp ne ñu mun a leeral commission bi.
Honest paid.
Ndax xaalis bi ba bu ñëwee waxtee ndax fay nañ ko Banjul City Council.
Documentation.
Nena ndax am na kayit yi nga xam ne bokk na si mbir mi.
To show
bi nga xam ne boobu dana wone ne.
the finances
mooy xaalis bi yi nga xam ne.
appropriated to himself as
nga ne def ko jagar pour moom boppam mu daal di ko dox.
as loans.
Nena pour ko muy leb boppam.
For any other.
Wala leneen li nga xam ne soxla bi nga xam ne moom dugal na fa. Nena ndax am nga record si yooyu.
Waaw
fekk fi nga xam ne da ngeen ko bind wala am na fu bind.
Wow, Madam Chair.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Kon national audit raised na lolu tam.
I think the national audit have raised that.
Yooyu yëpp mu ngi fa very clear.
They are very clear.
Tey su weer bi su jëlee 50,000.
This month if you take 50,000.
Next month mu jël 30.
Next month you take 30,000.
Beneen weer bi mu jël 50.
Another month 50,000.
Teg soo ko xoolee saa yu mu jëlee.
And if you see the time that he used to take the monies.
Internal auditor bi tam dina jël.
The internal audit too will take.
So yooyu mu ngi fa very clear.
They are very clear.
Te nekk loolu rek sax.
It's not only that.
Because ñu ngi gis naka la day jëlee xaalis si council bi tam.
We see or we observe the way he used to take council's money.
Ne dafa.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I understand that. But what I'm asking as we speak now,
Then the family for one
from my understanding of your evidence,
then about the
these monies are still pending and
Wait.
are not paid.
Alice we
What
been
I'm saying is
fail.
aside from, because we have seen what is contained on the audit reports.
Then I just not like a spot
The
report.
reports.
Audit report.
Are there any further documents?
Then I'm not any state.
Requests that
And I request is
office after your office had realized
hinga have less office
that
is
this
not
is outstanding,
Billy he has to fail. Na binanga ko
that
request
steps should be taken by him
ka kis ne ngam na ko topa.
or through
Wala-
council
Wala council
for this money.
mu ko halis.
That is what
Wow.
as the head of the institution.
Ne nga def sakata nga like the head of institution.
Waa Madam Chair, the last time bi ma ko doon mujjee xam.
Last time the last time I was aware of
The present CEO.
the present CEO,
Waxoon naa ko pour mu binda biir Kame Area Council.
I told him to write to Brigadier Council
Pour mu comme que moom foofu la nekk.
as far as he is there now
Pour explain na ne kii ñu amel xaalis.
to explain to them that this man is going to us monies
Ba pare mu binda ko moom tam.
and write to him too
Pour wax ko ne ko dafa war a fay suñu xaalis.
to let him know that he's supposed to pay the money.
Waaye dafa mel ni CEO bi lu ma wax.
But what CEO told me,
Foog naa CEO bi binda na ko.
I think he wrote to him.
Waaye moom instead sax dafa call or dafa binda CEO.
But instead he wrote to the CEO
Di wax ne xaw ma council dafa amel social security.
and said that council owe him social security.
Xaw ma 30,000 to 40,000 council dafa ko war a fay.
30,000 or 40,000, that's council supposed to pay to him.
So yes, binda nañ ko.
Yes, he wrote it.
That provide that information.
Then nga bind ko nga bañ a fàtte.
In addition to what we have found
Nga dal di ko indi.
from the audit
Boole ko ak loo xam ne dañ ko gis si audit reports.
see.
Yes. Now the second door, still on the first issue. How did you deal with that when you learned the issue regarding the finance director and the hiring of a new company or individual to collect revenue.
yow bi nga demee ba yëg loolu ne finance director dafa am compagnie bi nga xam ne daf ko isi mu dal di ko xaaya wala nit la isi mu dal di ko xaaya pour nga gis ne mu mun a jàppale génne leen wala isi leen crise boo xam ne revenue bu ees si council nee na yow sa bopp sa gis-gis bi noo ko gisee.
wax naa ko CEO bi.
I told the CEO
ne ko man ànduma ci.
that I don't agree to that.
Because common sense will dictate ne.
Because the common sense will dictate that
mënut a indi dara loo xam ne lu ees sa biir Banjul.
he cannot be able to bring something new in Banjul.
suñ dafa dem rek ñappaaxu si suñ ko database.
He just came and just went to our database.
waaye CEO moom fu mu doon sukkandiku.
But the CEO where he was relying
mooy ne council ñoo ko jox authority bi.
that it was council who have approved his or given him the authority.
Why sometimes you have people who are very ambitious.
But sometimes I think we have people who are very ambitious.
So xam na ne su demee wax council si ne mun naa leen indil 100 million.
And I know if he went to the councillors and explained to them that he can be able to bring million.
Most of them without even thinking.
Most of them without even thinking.
Then koy jox the benefit of the doubt.
They will give him the benefit of the doubt.
So unfortunately.
For that, unfortunately.
Man that day chairing my meeting bi dafa fekk maa ngi tukki.
On that very day, I did not chair the meeting due to the fact that I traveled.
Xam na wéyam.
And he knows his way.
Because you bari su ko dee def.
Because sometimes when they are doing it,
dafa xaar ba ma tukki.
He will wait until when I travel.
Mu yóbbu ko council.
He take that to council.
Because bi moo def suñ digital revenue digital lifin bi sa machines.
When he was doing this digital machines, revenue digital machines.
Dafa xaar ma tukki.
He waited until I left. I traveled. He then brought it to council.
So what I did mooy rek ma wax ko CEO.
So what I did was I informed the CEO.
And CEO later si boppam give because dafa ñëwaatoon after 1 year.
Because he came back after 1 year. CEO himself.
Moom after 1 year.
He came after 1 year.
Bi gisee ne yëpp lekk na ay millions xaw ma 3 xaw ma 4 xaw ma 5 million.
When he realized that he have eaten monies amounting to 1 million or over 1 million. When I travel, he want to go back to council.
Council allow ko mu indi waat ko.
For council to allow him to bring him back.
Léegi si la ko CEO wax ne ko na xaar man ba ma ñëw.
Then that was the time CEO advised him to wait until I am back.
So after ñu bind ko woon kon bi mu ñëwee pour renew contract bi.
After they wrote to him, I showed him that when his mission to come to renew the contract,
CEO wax ko ne ko loolu du fi am.
CEO informed him that that will not happen here.
Yes, but again, you are head of the council.
Council.
And there is a problem with respect to the finance directors bringing a company or individual to collect revenue.
Nena mo am problem fo wala te hati abi ngam ne financial director dafa tal di isi company fofu wala nit ya isi fofu pour nga gis ne ko ñew tamit neka revenue collector.
Even the fact that council was convinced.
Nena even neka na lo xamne sa council go si bopam gis ngeen ne dafa am fayda wala dafa am important.
Yet that did not pass through procurement.
Nena way be legi de yoon ko mo wara jaarut fofu moy procurement.
Do you not think that in the subsequent general meeting, council meeting, you should have brought the issue up as an agenda issue? Because the director of finance should not just, I think it's SAPS. Is it SAPS company? SABR.
I don't know their name.
Why? You are not angry with the director of finance?
Not about being angry to him.
Why?
But what he did was very painful.
Now, SAP is the company. Now they signed a contract. At the sum of 2.2 $2,250,000
$2,250,000
to collect revenue from council.
then approve nga gis ne ñu dal di jël deposit pour council
Now, we did not see
dina waaye ñun gisuñ
the same way you are saying.
dina comme yoon nga nekk di wax
You also did not agree
dina benn yoon bi nga xam ne bona benn yoon bi nga xam ne yow tamit loolu nga waxee nangu ko
that council should pay this amount to a private company to collect revenue.
dina council pour ñu fay xaalis boobu si private company pour muy jël lempo
But even the way it was done,
dina even yoon bi nga xam ne def na duñ ko defee
it is wrong that council will just approve and then the contract is given to SAPS automatically.
nee na àndut wala nekkut yoon bu jub pour nga gis ne ñu approve ko rek ñu jox ko contract bi SAPS directly council
Go back and follow the procurement process.
nee na dañu war a delloo jël yoon bu war mooy procurement process
If there needs to be a tender, then the tender will be floated.
su fekkee ne sa compétition moo fa nekk pour ñu tenda ko ñu daal di ko tenda
Is that not supposed to be the right?
nee na xanaa loolu moo di yoon bu jub boobu war
Wow.
yes
nangu naa loolu.
yes I agree
waaye comme wax naa la ko ma ne la.
as I told you
councilors yi
all councillors
seen liñ si jublu woon
what they were facing
mooy xëy na lu mu leen convince ne leen dinaa leen indil ay millions yu bari.
maybe he do convince them to say I will bring a lot of millions
so ñoom itamit ñu nangu.
they agree
te ñoom itam suñ nangoo loolu ba pare.
and after when they agree after that
maa dem si administration.
it will go to the administration
so ñoom the rest of the process.
then they will go to process
si ñoom la du nekkul ci councilors yi.
that is for them not the councillors
My point is,
nee na moom fu muy joxoñ mooy
if someone introduces to council,
nee na kenn suñu gisee ñu isi ko si council
then please increase your voice.
suñu gisee keneen si council
And let's say it is an investor or a businessman who has a product to sell of any kind or services to render.
mu nekk koo xam ne dafa ñëw pour business wala dafa am bagage yi nga xam ne daf ko ñëw pour jaay ko
Or if council thinks that they need to hire the service of a company or to collect revenue.
wala council bugga service bi nga xam ne dañu war a jël compagnie pour mu collecte revenue lépp
General council should not, the general council should not
nee na general council war pour
The general council should not
nee na general council waruñ pour def
just hear and listen to one contractor
pour ñu déglu kenn mu wax mooy benn mooy
and just
contracteur
issue out a contract or sign a contract with individual.
ñu dal di ko dégg moom kenn ba pare ñu dal di issue wala ñu jox ko contract
Because the law requires that you must float a tender.
nee na because loi bi li mu wone mooy tenda dafa war a am
So I am saying, should it not be the case?
nee na su fekkee ne dem doon noonu
li council li nga wax.
Should it not be the case?
nee na su fekkee ne loolu nekkutoon loolu
ah kay noonu la war a demee. waaye
yes it should be like that but I told the people the guys that
The interpreter that is not interpreting correctly, Lord Mayor, just allow me. Let me rephrase that, Mr. Bojang.
very well
The general council
nee na general council bi
cannot just issue a contract
nee na duñu mun a joxe contract
without the contract the passing through the normal way.
nee na fekk contract bi jaarut si yoon bu war
That is the contract they float a tender.
nee na pour ñu am foofu float tender
SAPS will compete with other potential service providers.
nee na da nga gis ne compagnie boobu saab dañoo nekk dafa am compétition buy dox si diggante ak yeneen
So what
service
is
providers
behind you
nee na li nga xam ne def nañ ko sa gannaaw
was wrong.
nee na àndut du warut so
Do you agree with it?
nee na nangoo nga loolu
waaw.
yes I agree yes
naa loolu waaye xam li ma fa bëggoon a add rek mooy ne.
Legal counsel I agree to that but what I wanted to add up is that
ki nga xam ne moo la wala guide. ki la war a guide.
the person who's supposed to guide you
kooku su la naxee.
that person if that person fools you
yow daf dee naxari pour nga dem at the right direction.
it will be difficult for you to go into the right.
Remember, these are our technocrats.
If these are our technocrats,
We trusted them.
we trusted them.
ñoom lu ñu wax dañoo foog ne lii moo mun a nekka.
Whatever they told us, we think that yes, that is how it's supposed to be.
te daf ko defaat ko.
Because they do it and did it again.
wax naa leen ne indi na the digital revenue collection machines yi.
I told you that he brought a digital revenue collecting machines.
indi na SAPS.
He brought staff.
indi na ñeneen ñuy liggéey si council bi.
He brought others who are working or who are working at the council.
am na koo xam ne daf ko yóbbu woon ci marché bi.
One of them was taken. He took him to the market.
kooku CEO bi yëgu ko sax.
And the CEO was not even aware of that.
so buñ demee ba
You blame the CEO?
Then I'm gonna blame CEO.
You don't want to blame Mr. Bachir?
Then I will blame Mr. Bashiri.
no xam nga.
You are here to take the blame when it is due, when it is
waaw
your fault. Why would you want to blame Mr.
Bashiri?
dama bëgg a fair ak moom.
No, I need to be fair with him.
because case boobu.
That case,
bi ñoo ñëw di ko wax Mr. Bachir.
when they were reporting or informing that Mr. Bashir,
my office.
he came to my office.
He was very angry.
He was very angry.
mu ne ma kii nag affaire bi dafa ëpp fu mu nekk.
He said to me that this man's thing is too over.
because dafa dugal nit si marché bi.
He told me he put this man to the market
pour di liggéey.
and he's working.
balaa ko Mr. Bachir di xam.
Before I became aware,
fekk yàgg na.
and it takes
Because Mr. Bachir is also busy mismanaging the area council.
parce que lu taxoon Mr. Bachir tamit dafa nekk ko xam ne dafa busy di mismanage council.
I told him.
Wax na ko.
He knows.
Xam na.
because bañu ma loolu.
I did not disagree with him.
the case by case la.
Yes.
This is case by case.
dama laa woon this particular case.
Now I'm telling you about this particular
with
case.
all honesty.
With honesty.
xamu si dara.
He knows not.
I understand that.
I understand.
I don't deny that.
Where do
I accept that.
nangu na ko.
I am saying
Lu may wax mooy.
reason is
Lu tax mooy.
continue to mismanage your office
Yow soo continuer di mismanage sa office.
as CEO.
Nekk CEO comme CEO.
Those under you, when they do some acts of mismanagement, you will not notice it.
Nee na ñoom tamit loolu dana nekk chance boo xam ne ñu nekk saxoon loolu danañ def mismanagement te doo ko yëg.
That is the issue.
Nee na loolu la mooy mbir mi.
That's why Mr. Bachir is hard to defend.
Nee na kon li moo tax Bachir dafa war a defend.
man xam naa the weak point of Bachir.
I know Bachir's weak point.
xam naa li suma weak point.
I know my weak points.
xam naa ñoom ñëpp tamit seen weak point.
And I know their weak points.
Camara lu mu def mooy.
Camara, what he did was.
Camara dafa daw dem am ay comme Camara was seen as somebody koo xam ne everything is like Camara.
Camara just seems like everything is just him. It's just him. Camara.
A witness toog na fii.
A witness came here.
xëy na bëgg koo wax.
Maybe he don't want to tell them.
kooku dañ ko yóbbu lopitaan mu am miscarriage.
He went to there. He was taken to hospital and have a miscarriage.
Okay. We wouldn't have evidence of that.
Nena lulu.
Okay.
Do you have evidence?
xëy na moom bëgg koo wax bu mu ñëwee toog.
Yes, but I know when he was here, he don't want to explain.
yaayam ak papaam dañ ñëw ba si office bi.
The mother and the father came to my office.
ñu ne bés bu ñoom foog ñu rey Camara.
They said that day they must kill Camara.
because noonu lañ ko ragalee woon ci office bi.
That is how we get afraid of him in the office.
Some people
We fear him.
you are really also scary in the office.
Nena.
Some people say you are also very scary in the office.
waaye léegi nu ma.
Nena lu ñu wax tamit am na ñoo xam ne ñu wax ne yow tamit da nga nekkoon koo xam ne da nga ragaloon toog sa office.
Some people say
Nena am na tamit ñu wax ne.
I don't deny what you are saying.
Yow li nga nekk di wax moom wéy di ko
I accept it.
Nena nangu na ko.
In fact, it is a culture.
Nena soo ko gisee nena yoon la foofu.
It's a culture
Culture la.
in this country,
Si dëkk bi.
in the world, in fact.
Nena si
Some people will rule with the iron fist.
am na ñoo xam ne nu ñooy yóbbu dañoo am iron fist.
Pose fear to rule.
Nena am na ñoo xam ne dañoo tànn ñeneen di ragal leen.
It's the nature of the human being.
Nena loolu doomi adama bi la.
When you say that I agree,
Nena soo ne nangu nga.
same goes to you.
Nena yëpp si benn bi la rek si yow.
Same goes to CEO.
Moo dem si CEO.
I mean, whether it's true or not,
Nena ndax dëgg la wala déet.
I have not a BCC to know whether you rule with the iron fist or not.
Nena moom nekkul BCC pour mu xam ne daa yow da nga li nga yóbbee sa njaboot si BCC foofu da nga ñangal wala déet.
If it works, it works.
Nena su doxee dox na.
But as long as nobody is victimized, if it works, it works.
Nena su doxee dox na.
You know, the finance director,
Nena am nga finance director.
he had done so many things that are not proper.
Nena am na li nga xam ne defe yu bëri mu def yi nga xam ne warut.
But one time he was also removed from the Austin project as a signatory. Do you recall?
Nena am na jamono yi nga xam ne tamit dañ ko génne mu ne pour nekk Austin signatory.
Do you recall?
Nena sax yaa ngi remember no?
yëgoon naa loolu.
Yes, I was aware of that.
You were aware after he was removed, or you were part of, you gave the instructions for him to be removed as a signatory?
nee na kañ nga ko yëg buñ ko génnee nga ko yëg wala yow tam bokk nga ci ñoo xam ne bokk nga ci pour ñu génnee ko as a signatory.
No, not Pogasi. You gave the instruction.
nee na daa yow yaa joxe digal.
doole sax pour wax fa dara.
I have no powers there to say something.
Now, the finance director cannot be removed as a signatory
nee na financial director duñ ko mën a génnee as a signatory
at face value. As a general rule,
as a general rule.
the CEO does not have the power to remove the finance director as a signatory.
nee na CEO amul doole boobu pour génnee director of finance as a signatory.
Council, they don't have the power.
nee na am leen doole boobu.
It's the
nee na council moo am.
it's the service commission
nee na service commission moo am doole boobu.
through disciplinary measures.
nee na si nga xam ne ay yoon yu war a tëdd.
Now, when you learned that the finance director was removed as a signatory to the account, the finance manager made a signatory to the account.
nee na bi nga yëgee ne kooku lañ ko génnee as a signatory account ak jamono bi nga xam ne director of finance dañ ko def signatory to the account.
You will agree that was wrong.
nee na yow sa boppa yëg nga ne loolu warut.
Xam nga ne loolu warut.
wala xam nga loolu warut.
lead counsel.
lead counsel.
dinaa la wax ne ñii seen problème dafa bari boo xam ne.
I'll tell you these poor people have many problems.
demal ñëwal ay góor yoo xam ne they are grown up.
They are men that were brought up.
every day.
Every day.
Actually, pour ñu control leen was very difficult.
It was difficult for Bachili to control them.
And trust me.
Camera
is very difficult to manage.
Camera is very difficult to manage.
The camera is educated.
Camera su ñëwee.
nee na kooku dafa jàng dafa am xam-xam.
waxuma ne jàngu de.
I don't say he's not educated.
Why accountant bu mun a reconcile statements?
For the accountant who cannot reconcile statements.
Mënuloo reconcile accounts, council's accounts.
You cannot reconcile council's account.
Man tamit dinaa question tuuti qualification am.
Then for me, there I have a question. I have
How do you know
about
he
his
cannot
qualification.
reconcile accounts?
No.
Then I have it. Then you come to show.
Try nañ this one. I even wrote to the ministry.
We tried. I even wrote to the ministry. I have them here. I told him
suñ budget bi Camara mënu ko jagar.
that Camara cannot be able to prepare a budget.
Camara mënut a reconcile suñ accounts yi.
He cannot reconcile our
all
accounts.
this frustration mu ngi nekk suñ kaw.
All these frustrations are on top of me.
Danga wax ba sona.
You will talk until you are tired.
doo si mun dara.
You cannot do anything.
Set,
Can I enter this once, or you have another one too? Do I wait for you to come up with another ones?
mun nga tell go be
Yes, you can tell me those ones.
We apply to tender the following document. The first is addressed to the finance director from the witness, Lord Mayor Rohey Malick Lowe. The it says the fund of $895,000 is to council. The second is a memo addressed to the Lord from the Lord Mayor to the Chief Executive Officer. Adjustments in the supply of fuel. We have a memo from Lord Mayor to the CEO. Assessment of the financial director and administrative director for confirmation vis-a-vis the regularization of audit office and council's development. A letter to the CEO by the council from the Ministry of Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs. Request for personal files. Budget. Subject budget of the Biosecurity Council it's a letter addressed to the permanent secretary, signed by the witness Lord Mayor of Banjul to Rohey Malick Lowe, to be evidence and marked as exit.
Guanyaro, bene bene, bene bene.
In addition to those documents, we equally apply to tender the following. A memo from the chief executive, sorry, the acting senior accounting officer to the chief executive officer from that is signed by Ms. Hadijatu Penn, senior accounting officer acting. And also another memo from the acting finance manager to the chief executive officer to be additionally admitted to evidence and marked as committed.
The documents presented are admitted as follows to my council. A memo dated the 4th of January 2022. The memo is addressed to the Chief Executive Officer from the Acting Senior Accounts Clerk, and the subject is complaint against the Director of Finance. This memo is signed by Ms. Hadija Tupen, Acting Senior Accounting Officer. It is copied to the Acting Deputy Director of Finance, Acting Finance Manager. A memo dated the 22nd of April 2020, it is addressed to the Chief Executive Officer and it emanated from the Lord Mayor, and it has the subject adjustment in the supply of fuel. It is signed by the Lord Mayor and it is copied to the Acting Director of Finance, Acting Director of Audit, Acting Accounts Manager, and a file copy is maintained. A letter dated the 13th of May 2020, it is addressed to the Director of Finance and it has the subject refund of 895,000 to council. It is signed by Rohey Malick Lowe, Lord Mayor. It is copied to the CEO, Internal Audit, National Audit responsible for councils, and a file copy is maintained. A memo dated the 8th of November 2022. It is addressed to the CEO and it emanated from the Lord Mayor's office, and it has the subject assessment of the financial director and administrative director for confirmation vis-a-vis regularization of audit office and council's development. A letter dated the 22nd of September 2020. The letter is from the Ministry for Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs. It has reference LM 35/131/01 in brackets 22. It is addressed to the CEO Banjul City Council and it has the subject request for personal files. It is signed by Omar C for Permanent Secretary. It is copied to the Mayor BCC and a file copy is maintained. A letter dated the 16th of October 2023. It is addressed to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Lands, Local Government and Religious Affairs, and the letter is from Banjul City Council, and it has the subject budget of the Banjul City Council. It is signed by Rohey Malick Lowe, Lord Mayor of Banjul. It is copied to the CEO, BCC, and a file copy is maintained. A memo from the CEO to the acting finance manager, and it is dated the 7th of February 2022. It is copied to the acting deputy director of finance, and it has the subject report on financial activities. These documents are admitted in a bundle together as exhibit in evidence, and they are marked as LGC/BCC/RL/004.
As the permission please. Yes, so we proceed. We will deal with these documents
documents.
when we come back from the break.
Okay.
Now, again, the point with this finance director and SAPS company,
And I appointed my director, financial director at SAPS company.
I believe he was even asked, and then the finance director was asked, and then there's a relationship between SAPS, the owner, and the finance director.
And then mom spoke up the whole like it. Not gonna say guys you had the finance director at SAP.
Yeah, I believe they used to go to the same school.
And I know work as a school.
Do you, at some point, know about this?
Then I'm Musuga Iglolo.
Was it the that
No, I know nothing about it.
Yes. Now that you know,
Now, coming hamga, you know.
you know it's wrong
Then I'm nangungane lo wala
on the side of the finance director.
nangungane lo well Sibori director, finance director.
To bring someone to council
Rumo isi kena si council.
that you have a personal relationship with,
Kinga hamne mo hamna ni mo bok mo bok.
just for the person to be given a contract by the general council.
To area council, wala council to dal ko nyo contract.
I know you were not present.
Then hamna ne bom ham yug na ne bo feke lo.
It's conflict.
Then I will so ko se lo conflict la.
And we talk
From
why lead council wax naa ne si yim def noonu benn boobu rek mooy si benn rek nga nekk di wax de ma ne la loolu benn si lu tuuti lu mu gën a def
I'm telling you what he did. That is only the little thing he did.
documents yi laa bëgg a tender
I want to tender this document.
all these 1,000 documents
This is over 1,000 documents.
te moom kenn rek unilaterally
Mom, he's alone. He's not a-
moo ko doon sign
he signed
moo doon def payment
and he was the one doing the payment.
amul fenn fii fu ma gis signature CEO fii
I don't see anywhere here where I can see the signature of the CEO.
documents yaa ngi nii
These are the documents.
man du ma toog fii di waxal Camara dégg naa
I will not sit there to say to camera, I had it, I had it.
te Camara mu ne council
And camera say council.
lead council soo demee Banjul City Council
This council, if you go to the Banjul City Council,
90% of staff si télévision bi laa toog di wax
the 90%,
90%
90% of staffs at the,
ñee nañ xàmmeewu ma leen sa seen kanam yi
some of them I don't even know them.
because dama leen bàyyi ñoom admin ñu def seen liggéey ak staff si
I left admin so that they can do their job with their staff. Then I want to make a know.
It should not be that way.
Then I want to make a know.
You should be really on top of issues.
Then I knew they want to talk about it.
I
waaye nekk on top of
You leave people-
doesn't mean ne What I'm saying, I don't go into petty things.
What I'm trying to say is that I don't do or go into petty things. And we came here.
Witness is joge bani city council yep ñew tok fi.
All the witnesses from Banjul City Council who came.
C'était ku ne Rohey Malick Lowe rek.
If you tell them Rohey Malick Lowe,
Click bi gis naa ko.
I saw the clip.
But click is what happens in area councils.
Then I click more than area council.
Whether it's from the council itself, see, politics.
And then the councils politics
have a way of being displayed at council's level.
Then the politics is more from that, but you got to handle the council's level.
You know, council you have two branches, the political branch.
Then I'm going council more, branch more for a political branch.
And the administrative branch, the core administrative branch.
And the core administrative branch.
Sometimes it's unfortunate.
Then I'm not very unfortunate.
You will see politics being played.
And
we have had evidence all the way from Basse to Bank.
Then I'm not evidence from Basse to Bank.
Some will tell you because I belong to X, that's why I have been treated unfairly.
Then kaya nila niyo office ako dati na wow manakali na demo ta nung may treat fi dan doon.
Some will say because I am in that party, that's why I'm treated unfairly.
Then kaya nila niyo magboka si puti ko limo ta nung may treat fi dan takabete si ba.
That should not be.
Then awakan ni kanong.
And one of the issues we have had is that allocations of ward development funds.
Then allocations of ward development funds.
Some will claim you did not give me because I'm either from the ruling party or the opposing party.
Then I'm not ruling party or opposing party.
Say clicks, I agree with you.
Then clicks for you
Council.
Yes.
I have 7 opposition councillors in my council.
I have 7 opposition councillors in my council.
And I have 2.
And I have 2.
ñoo xam ne dañoo dem election ñoo bokk parti.
That we are of the same party.
waaye mun naa laa wax fii tey ne.
I can tell you that here.
And I can proudly say ne.
And I can proudly say that.
Man maa gën a am a stable council throughout the Gambia.
I am the one who have the most stable council throughout the Gambia.
My point is.
Council bi dugal ma fa parti san.
Because my council, they don't involve politics there.
Man si suma boppa dafa ma hit back man.
And that for me, that have hit me.
And bugguma dem foofu sax.
I don't want to go there.
My point is, and this is my last point before we go on break, is to buttress more on your point regarding the clicks. That, and I hope, and I'm sure the commissioners they've already taken note of the evidences gathered from Basse all the way down. That the administration of council, once all of you have contested for elections and you have won in your various wards, you just do development. Just do development. After 5 years, we go back to politics. After politics, we come back and work. You agree that's the way it's supposed to be?
Legal.
Do you agree?
Legal.
Yes.
I'm appealing.
That politics. No. Not Mayor. Let me cut you short there. This is evidence we have received. And when I ask questions, not worry. But whatever anyone thinks, is relevant to the administration, then to the relevant to the hearing. To help the commissioners make recommendations. The smooth running of area council. I, Patrick Gomez. I will ask it. And the witnesses. You want to help the commission to address those issues.
You
help with your experience so that we solve the problems. So it is along those lines.
Guys, not in budget.
And trust my words.
Thank you very much.
Trust my words.
Thank you very much. Mashia, I have been informed it is time. 5 minutes. Now your time is wrong. Chair, the technician is saying that GRS is taking the signal. Okay, thank you. Not me. I will now seek to admit the documents that you have. Well, it's too much. Maybe we wait until we come back. I'm not sure in 5 minutes whether we can admit all these documents.
Because comments we are payments your honey, Munkodon Fay Aidit, and part of audit. News officer.
Yes, we will admit and then we will look at
The CEO is not there.
We will admit it.
Yeah,
Look into it. I don't deny your words. The first I have seen is signed by the CEO. But it will be premature to even discuss that yet. You have given your evidence and you will look into it. You seek to admit it, okay?
I'll give it to you before we go.
90% of documents you have CEO signed.
Okay. Let me count.
Yes, just
one.
Documents. Give it to you.
We have some vouchers, different sets.
Yes, but I want you to ascertain the total number of documents.
I would not be able to do that because there are some, for instance, Chair, like these ones.
Yes.
I would not know whether it's one voucher because there seem to be several vouchers of different payments. Maybe we'll work with the register. The register will work with the witness.
Yes.
So, yes.
Yes.
For instance, this one you have about several vouchers. I haven't found it, and there are different vouchers. The first is a payment for during the holidays.
Yes.
That is different.
Yes, you can give the documents back to the witness to ascertain the number of documents when we come back, so that we will be able to admit them.
You have the voucher, which you have to.
It is important to know how much and how many documents are collected from the witness.
Okay.
So we may go, we may rise
Yes.
for lunch break, and we will come back.
Thank you.
Thank you.